into a very broader group of this member and also in the international experts. In view of that, today we are organizing the workshop and in today's workshop, there are two sessions will be there. In the first session, all the group leaders, six group leaders, they will present the salient features, salient points, whatever have been discussed to the greater audience, for further suggestion and further refinement of the ideas which we have made. And in the second session, it will be the panel discussion. And in the panel discussion, we will invite all the country representatives from the South Asian region to express their views. And in addition to all the international expert, all the international organization, and also the funding agencies who are likely to fund, they also can contribute to this panel discussion. This panel discussion is very much open, can exchange all the ideas. So with this, I am now requesting Dr. M.B.K. Shivakumar, who is the founder, editor in chief in weather and climate extremes, Elsevier, as a senior consultant WMO and former chief of agriculture meteorology division of WMO, to kindly chair the first session. And I am also requesting Dr. Azharul Maziz from Bangladesh. He was the former
Sir,
project director
hello
of
sir.
Agromet project of Bangladesh Agromet project, and now
सर वो
he is
सैफोम
the
के वर्कशॉप
chief
में ज्वाइन हो जाओ,
instructor of
कुछ नहीं होगा, मैं
Agriculture
भी हूँ.
Training Institute, Department of Extension, Bangladesh.
हाँ
So over to MBK Shivakumar
सर, कुछ नहीं
for
होता, ज्वाइन कर लो. किसी ने कुछ बोलेगा
organizing
नहीं.
the first session
अति
of
साहब
the
है, कोई नहीं होगा,
today's
कर
workshop.
लो.
Over to Shivakumar.
Thank you, Dr. Chattopadhyay. You have done a great job in
हाँ सर,
organizing this
ऑलरेडी
workshop
57 58
on
पीपल है.
steering the
अति साहब है,
activities of South
घर से
Asia
है,
Forum
कर
on
लो.
Agriculture
ऑफिस से करने
Meteorology.
के लिए परमिशन चाहिए, घर
It's
से क्या
very,
चाहिए
very
आपको, कर
nice
लो, कुछ
that
नहीं होता
this
सर.
forum, this
हाँ
workshop
एक बार
is
कर लो
going to
सर,
bring
लॉग इन
together
कर लो.
various experts that are working on different aspects of agriculture
हाँ सर.
meteorology. So these experts are going to share information about National Agromet Advisory Services, and they're also going to share common strategies, strategic mission and vision in adaptation and mitigation of future challenges of the weather and climate on agriculture. They're also going to deal with innovative approach on the management of weather and climate hazards and extreme events to promote greater resilience in agriculture. They're also going to identify priority areas like use of reliable and timely sub-seasonal and seasonal forecast in agriculture, use of remote sensing on operational agrometeorological services, etc. And the final issue is that they are going to discuss and establish institutional arrangements needed to sustain and scale up ongoing national and regional efforts in the delivery of agromet services. I am very happy now for the next, there will be 6 presentations. These are from the leaders of the different core groups of the South Asian Forum on Agrometeorology. And in fact, Chattopadhyay has organized 6 core group meetings from 13th of February to 20th March. So each of these leaders have done a great job during those meetings. So I am now going to invite Dr. Santanu Kumar. Each of the presentations from the core group leaders will be 10 minutes according to the program that we received. So I'm going to now invite Dr. Santanu Kumar Bal. He is the project coordinator of agrometeorology in the Central Research Institute for Dry Land Agriculture in Hyderabad. In fact, originally I also come from Hyderabad, although I live in Geneva, Switzerland now. So I know Dr. Safoam Kumar Bal, so I invite him to make the presentation. Please, Dr. Bal.
Thank you, Dr. Shivakumar. Now I'll just present my screen. Now the screen is shared.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
we can see.
Thank you. Thank you. So, good afternoon to all. Uh, uh, Many seniors are there. Dr. Rathod, Dr. Ramana Rao, Dr. Huda, Dr. Ramakrishna, Dr. Varsnia, Dr. Sheikh. So many galaxy of scientists are there. So once again, good afternoon to all, and also to our representatives from different South Asian countries. So as Dr. Sivakumar has already told that we had a core group meeting on 13th of February to discuss about this operational agromet advisory services at different South Asian countries, where member representatives from different countries shared their experiences, and we had a very detailed discussion. And with that discussion, one thing that came that we should uh, prepare some sort of, we should ask information from all the countries that what kind of operational agromet advisories are going on, and what are the limitations, and what are the needs. So on that basis, we prepared a sample, survey pro forma, and sent to all the member countries, and we received information. And on that basis, what we found that uh, what kind of weather forecasts are available in different countries, and and just if you see that almost all the countries have their own weather forecast products, and with respect to different type of forecast, uh, we can see that in Bangladesh they are only using the short range, whereas in some they are using uh, uh, extended, or in case of India, we are using short range, medium, as well as the extended range. And regarding the status of observatories, uh, some countries, the observation network is very insufficient. In Bhutan, you can see that only there are 20 class A station observatories, whereas there are a few automatic weather stations. In Bangladesh, though there are 43 observatories, but there is no agromet observatories. If we talk of Sri Lanka, quite a very good network. In India, we know that it has very good, well established. But the question is that in India also, in some parts it is well distributed. In some parts, still it needs that improvement. And if you look at whether agromet advisory bulletins are issued on regular basis or not, mostly in all the countries it is being done. But regarding its time interval and resolution, we can see that in India and Bhutan, Bangladesh, it is on the district scale, whereas in Nepal and Sri Lanka it is on the national scale. And time interval, in case of India and Bangladesh, it is bi-weekly. In others, it is weekly or maybe in monthly. And if we look at what type of experts are available who are actually preparing these agromet advisories, most of the countries, though experts are available, but in some countries, the experts from different disciplines are not there, so they are managing whatever resources they have. And trained manpower, the information was that in Nepal there was no agrometeorologist available, and in Bhutan there are few. Bangladesh the same. Sri Lanka there is no trained manpower. Okay, in India partly, and we have improved a lot. We know that now agrometeorology has been established in many universities, and many people have got training in agrometeorology. So yes, compared to that, we are at a very good position. And when you look at this agromet products, okay, products are available, but not uniform in all the cases. And regarding the quality also, there are, because I am not going in detail because time is very less. And whether there is access to agromet products, yes, in most of the cases this product is being used for preparing this agromet advisories. And regarding trained manpower, no, it is a very, not in good state, so it needs training. And then another information was that this drought monitoring is being done in India and Sri Lanka, not in other countries. And the flood monitoring is given in all the countries, but not in a very good scale. And regarding the soil moisture station network, the Bhutan, Bangladesh, and India, it is having there, but its quality is still in question. And whether there is a mechanism for the real-time monitoring of extreme weather events, though people are or the members have sent that okay, it is there, but still I am in doubt whether in which scale and accuracy what is there. And another information is that how this agromet advisory is being actually disseminated to farmers. So it was mainly disseminated through SMS, web portals, or mobile apps. And uh, very good information was that almost all the countries they are giving this farmer awareness program regarding, and in which this agromet information and advisory is part. And another thing was that whether there is access to satellite observation of products. Okay, in few countries like Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and India, it was there, not in Nepal and Bhutan. And regarding whether trained manpower is available to use that satellite information, it is obviously no. But in India, yes, we are doing that. And whether there is a dedicated web portal is created or available, yes, the web portal is there for all the almost all the countries. And is there any training facility or training programs are being conducted? Yes, it is mostly conducted, but in Nepal there is no training facility. And then very important information that we got, that what is the status of research in agricultural meteorology. So in Nepal and Bhutan, there is no research on agricultural meteorology as such. But in Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and India, yes, we have a very good setup for the agricultural meteorology research that we are conducting through our agricultural universities and ICT. And whether these findings of these research studies are used in the preparation of agromet advisories, yes, definitely we are doing the same. And other information like regarding the courses, degrees in with respect to agricultural meteorology. Almost all the countries, they don't have any degree offered except India, where we are having different universities offering these courses. That is MSc Agriculture Meteorology, and this is mainly as a course in some of the countries. It is being offered, and so looking at all the information that we received from all the member countries. So I just prepared a summary that where exactly we stand, so that the role of Safoam, we can just we can just prepare that how best this Safoam should act, so that this type of anomalies or limitations, whatever is there in each country, that we can try to improve upon. So regarding the availability of weather forecast, India definitely is in better state, and there are few countries where this needs to be upgraded or established. And the scale also we have already discussed. Then another thing is that this trained manpower component, in almost all the countries it is not there. And also this drought monitoring, this is not being done in many countries. So these are few of the areas where our focus should be there in future. And also we can see that this research in the discipline of agricultural meteorology. Research means not core research, but regarding the development of different kind of agromet products, so that can be used to or help in preparing these agromet advisories. and the information that we can generate through those tools, will be helpful in improving the accuracy and content of the agromet advisories. And with this, I think this is the information that we could generate in the last 2 months after this surveying work. So now the question is where the Safoam should focus on. That Safoam should impress implementing agencies to upgrade the observational network, and to provide platform to train manpower with respect to preparation and dissemination of agromet advisories, facilitate in developing agromet products for different ecoregions, and facilitate in developing climatic analogs, because a lot of research has been done and a lot of tools have been developed. And if you can identify these analogs, then definitely the advantage of particular area can be replicated in the same what is available in the other countries. And facilitate in enhancing capabilities to monitor extreme events like drought, flood, frost, heat wave, etc., and promote research in the field of agricultural meteorology, and strengthen the research capabilities in agricultural meteorology. So these are some of the areas where we should identify that in which there is a scope where Safoam can work. And because some countries, mostly in India and Sri Lanka, these two countries are a little bit better compared to other countries. So whatever strength that we have in some of the countries can be replicated in others. So Safoam as a forum can look at all these points, and we can prepare our strategy so that we can work in certain areas. So with this, I would like to finish my presentation, and now it is open for discussion, please.
Thank you, Dr. Bal. In fact, we are now short of time because the first presentation is already, according to the time that is allocated, it's over. So I would now go for the second presentation.
Sorry, Shivkumarji, sorry, just one announcement. I am requesting all the others to mute their system because there are some noises coming during the presentation. So this is my submission to all of you. Thank you.
Yeah, please go ahead. Everybody, please mute your phone. And what I would like to now do is to invite Dr. A.M. Shaikh, the former Vice Chancellor of Anand Agriculture University, Gujarat, India. He is the leader of the core group 2, and he is going to make a presentation on administration, constitution, bylaws, and finance, etc. for Safoam. So please, Dr. Bal, Dr. Shaikh, could you please go ahead?
Thank you very much, Dr. Shivkumar. Is the screen is sharing? It is visible? Hello? No. Not visible. Sorry.
Sir, please share the window.
Yes, now in presentation.
Okay. Thank you very much. Sorry for delay.
in arranging the PPT presentation. Respected Dr. Vasnesa Rathorji, Chattopadhyay, Shiv Kumar, and Ramakrishna, and many dignitaries and valued present member. Shortly, the as Dr. Bal has already mentioned about the variation in the operational agromet advisory services, and this is due to the variability of the weather across the southeastern countries, and therefore, because of this variability, it is necessary to form a forum which can disseminate the advancement and the knowledge of the sharing for the development and equipment of the agriculture sector, that is particularly crops. And for that purpose, in the 2nd of February, the one core group meeting was made and discuss the rules and regulation, particularly administration and constitution of the bylaws and financial matter, etc., with the help of member, as I mentioned here, and with the advices of the L. Sathur, M. Sivasne, and G.M. Rao in the my leadership. The presentation is composed of a 9 point, yes, particularly preamble, objective, membership, fees, and administrative setup, rules and regulation, duties and powers, and audit and account, amendments, and the way forward. In 2nd February meeting, I have already presented the draft proposal which we have prepared with the help of the member and particularly the Sama people, those who have already prepared the constitution, and with the help of that particular constitution draft paper, we have prepared it in terms of in terms of for the agromet agriculture meteorology. So the preamble, as I was already mentioned, because of the variability of the weather across the southeastern country, it is necessary that the one a forum should be formed which can interact we can interact with the people and the scientists and the farmer. And it is a non-government organization which caters the needs of the time for the collective efforts of mitigating the adverse effects of the climate. And because of that reason, the rules and regulation has to be formed, and it is a non-profit organization, and therefore it has to be registered as a society act or as a charity commissioner, and therefore the detail of the constitutional draft has been circulated to many of the members to you, and the suggestion has been incorporated in it. I all request all of you to put your input for the improvement of that proposal. Most of the point I have already included in the final draft report, but after the having your approval, that will be presented into the general body meeting, and for that purpose, there are several problems in which we have to make a member, and we have to think of the type of the membership, we have to think of the financial aspects and many of the others. So the main objective of this forum is a professional non-profit organization for the promotion of agriculture, meteorology, and the allied sciences, and their application for well-being of the public and the sustainable development. This presentation is very short, but detail we have already circulated to they have already circulated to all of you. No member shall derive financial benefit from the assets or income. Its membership and activities shall be international in scope as per the Article 2.2 with the specific efforts. The objective of the forum is inter alia shall be to help toward the advancement, dissemination, and application of the knowledge of the science of the agriculture meteorology, and to promote the interaction among the person, bodies, institutions, and states and different departments of the states and the meteorological technique. and to encourage and promote the research in science of agriculture, meteorology, science of agriculture, meteorology, and related disciplines, and undertake the execute the act which shall promote aim and objective of the forum. And in the event of the ambiguity, interpretation of the clause, he shall construed in such a way to widen the not to mistake the aim of the objective of the forum. And forum may take from time to time the appropriate concrete steps like regional collaboration with the allied sciences, lecture, publication, curriculum development, personalization, and in all these aspects, different department, agriculture, animal husbandry, and so and fisheries we can consider, and the departmental awards and PhD scholarship or the MS scholarship, preparation of the syllabus for the different country, as you have, it is variation is very high, as Dr. Ball has presented, and in that way this forum can be helped. Now, the main question here is the first of all the membership and membership fee. The types of member is founding member, life member, student member, institutional member, stakeholder member, patron, and honorary fellow. And this definition of all these members has already discussed in the draft proposal. I request all of you to go through it, and if there is any correction, I will be very happy to incorporate in the final proposal before it goes to the general body meeting. And the fees and the executive the council need to decide the fee structure. Now here also, because it is an international forum, so the fees is to be collected in which currency, that is also a problem. If the fees is collected in the different country, so we have to prepare the chapters also, and that all that aspects has been considered, and that has been mentioned here. So all these aspects, fees executive council has to be decided, and that is also we discussed in the general body meeting. But you all need to be also value to us in this particular workshop. And the first is what is the administrative setup. So first of all, the general body meeting, and for the general body, you have to prepare the member, and all these different types of member as we discussed here, it is has to be prepared, and the meeting can be held on the online or in certain cases when the conditions improve. The general body will lay down the principles for working of the forum from time to time, and enactment of the statute and regulation. The general body shall, according to statute, at the time with due care and without due delay. In matter except amendment statute, the decision of the general body is final. The general body can amend the statute of this constitution provided more than two-thirds of the total ballots in favor of it. And any office bearer or a member of a council may be removed from the office of the forum if no confidence motion is passed against the member by at least two-thirds majority of annual general body. All this has been discussed and elaborated in this. Here I have mentioned it in the short form. Now the council is composed of the president, vice president, secretary, joint secretary, treasurer, council member, five, and immediate past president, and zonal representative as described in the Article 5.22, which in Article 5.22, if you go through it, it is a 5.22, it has a chapter, zonal chapter, and from zonal chapter, all member has to represented in the council, and nominated member as described in Article 5.23, and the elected council may form two additional members. That is the point, and two members from East South Asian countries that can be incorporated or considered for making a council. Now in this way, the executive committee council can be formed. The forum will have the executive council as here reported as the council, as I discussed earlier, and same thing here it is mentioned that immediate part president, one ruler representative describing and nominated member, and the administrative setup in the chapter. Safoam will have financial autonomous country chapter, to manage finance for activity in their respective countries. 522 and 523 has it being mentioned for having a chapter in the different country, separate chapter, and they have a separate management committee also. And that has each and every aspect has been discussed and elaborated in the draft. And I request all of you to go through it. The Council of the Country chapter will have elected member, chairman, secretary, treasury, and committee member. And the council may, at its discretion or on receipt of request in writing, to create a branch of forum for occurrence of the objectives of the forum. And such a branch shall be called a chapter of the forum. And there can be more than one chapter from the same from the same. And in this way, this council can make rules and perform and carry out the different activities of the forum from time to time, and can amend and make a rules and regulation for carrying the business of the forum. In the rules, you have mentioned about the system of the membership, executive council, chapter management committee, meeting of the forum, meeting of the council, how many meetings, then it is the forum is to be considered, duties and power of the president and the vice president, duties and power of the secretary, and duties and power of treasury, and award of the fellowship, and the fund, and the source of the funding, and audit of the account, and administrative setup, and miscellaneous and amendment has been mentioned in the fund. The two short the different duties of the president and vice president. I'll club both of it because of the paucity of the time. And these are the different duties of the president and the vice president. The duties and power of the president shall be as follow the preside over the meeting and make a proceeding of the submeeting, ensure due effect is given to statute and regulation in the force, and to decide on the interpretation of the any rules, and the interpretation of the president is final, and that can be also taken in the general body meeting. And in matter of calling of the transaction, the president may adopt such measure at his discretion, the circumstances demand, and report his actions to the council. In the absence of the president, meeting of the forum may be decided over by the president, and in case of longer continued absence of the president, the executive council may designate one of their presidents to perform the function of the president. There are different other aspects also being considered, which are here the important aspect I have mentioned. And similarly, the duties and power of the secretary to conduct the correspondence of the forum and of the council, and to sign all letters and the papers emanating from the forum, and to attend the meeting of the forum and of the council, to take minutes of the proceeding of the sub-meeting during their progress, and at the commencement of every sub-meeting to read around minutes of the previous meeting. And as a secretary in the at general meeting to announce the present made to the forum since their last meeting, to read the names of members, original paper communicated, and the later address to the forum required to be so read out, and to prepare for submission to the annual general body meeting, list of members corrected to the close to the previous year, and to counter the rules to be entered in the minutes book, all the proceeding of the forum, and means keep all the meeting with records of meetings of the forum in the chapter and general body meeting has to be maintained, and to exercise general supervision over the employees and affairs of the forum, and to assist carrying out the regulation and order made by the council, and to incur the expenditure. And in absence of the secretary, the joint secretary will perform the duties of the secretary, and she would assist the secretary in discharging his her duties and such other duties as assigned by the secretary from time to time. And similarly, for the treasurer also is responsible for handling the fund, maintaining the account, making the audit of the account, and getting it approved from general body meeting. And he shall also furnish the council the information regarding financial position of the forum, and will be given call upon to do so by the council. And to audit an account, the auditor has to be the name of the auditor has to be taken the approval from general body meeting and the executive council and any member of the forum with the permission of president and by previous appointment with this may inspect the account of the forum. Result of such inspection shall be considered by the council. Means internal audit has to be carried out. Different country chapter will have to submit the audited account statement to the headquarter at the end of every financial year. And for the amendment of the constitution of the forum, the Regulation Act X, XXI of 2020 shall be applicable. That is the latest act as the government of India has incorporated, enforced, and that act has to be considered. An amendment to the rules and regulation may be proposed by means of resolution adopted by council or by means of petition signed by at least 10% of the member, and the same is as per the 2012 Act of the Government of India. And for amendment of rules and regulations, the secretary shall send to all members with voting right the proposed amendment accompanied by a ballot e-ballot paper, and the amendment shall be deemed to be adopted on the basis of a simple majority of e-ballot received. President would have casting vote in case of a tie. Any amendment or memorandum and rules and regulation or name of the location of the forum or society shall be carried out in accordance with the Act of 2012. The date on which the amendment shall take effect shall be decided by the council and communicated to the member. And in this way, all these rules and regulations has been formed and drafted and corrected and discussed thoroughly. And many of the inputs that we are received in the meeting and later on that all the aspects has been considered in the final report. The way forward, first of all, we have to call the general body meeting. And for the general body meeting, you have to prepare the member. If you have to prepare the member, then we have to decide about the fee structure. And because fee structure is there, is coming in, then the types of currency, in which currency we have to take, which so the different fees, membership fees we can keep it for different country, and what are the aspects and how to do it, that we have to discuss. And then the suggestion of the generation of fund, how to the fund has to be generated, and formation of the executive council, where to keep the headquarter of the forum, and the all these different aspects needs a thorough discussion and your input, and with your help, as we have already formed in the past Sama and other international forum. This also we have to take forward the Safoam activity for the interest of the farmer and for benefit and the exchange and sharing the idea and the knowledge to the larger people in the interest of the farmer and the country. And as it is a better or air has no boundary, likewise the exchange of the idea, exchange of the transfer of the technology have a no boundary, and therefore this activity needs we have to carry out, and for that purpose some of the inputs will help in smooth running and
Dr. Kusheshta, Dr. Kusheshta, let us stop now because
Yes,
we are
yes.
running out of time.
okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for your presentation. A lot of useful information. I now
Thank you.
like to invite the Dr. Bimal Bhattacharya, who is the leader of the core group of three, and he is going to make a presentation on the utilization of satellite-derived products and agreement advisory services for South Asian countries. So I invite Dr. Bhattacharya to make his presentation.
Dr. Shivakumar, you also unmute your system while talking.
Yeah, I will.
Hello.
Yes, proceed.
Yeah, is the screen visible to all?
Yes.
Okay. Very good afternoon, and somewhere good evening and good morning also. Uh, So, respected our seniors, Professor Sheikh, Dr. Ramakrishnan, uh, and many other top-notch agrometeorologists from India and Southeast Asia, and Dr. Sivakumar. I have made a very short presentation on utilization of satellite-derived products in agromet advisories for South Asian countries. Just to inform you that currently in India, we are engaged with IMD, Department of Agrometeorology, for disseminating the different agromet products and for the agromet field units of India. And it is at the experimental stage. And beyond that, we will look forward to expansion of these activities. In the similar mode, just we have gathered during our meeting during this February-March period. Many suggestions and questions have emerged from that. I'll show that what are the overall recommendation, but very important that there's some specific questions is for what we have put here, and that we will circulate
Hello.
to different countries for their for obtaining their responses.
हाँ sir.
And then after that we'll
ठीक है
find
sir.
out some common and skillful
Okay,
satellite based
okay.
agromet products and indicators which will be useful for the South East Asian countries. Though we have developed certain products now in India, but in general for the different countries how it will be useful, that will discuss. Then I'll discuss on the way forward. In the recommendations, though many recommendations are made here and which seem to be very ideal, but using the satellite data and disseminating and translating their interpretation to the farmers, it is a very very challenging job. And also getting those information on the operational real time mode is a challenging thing. So there are several aspects of remote sensing and satellite products which are actually recommended here. That there should be some different level of informations. Then the product should be accessed and how mechanism can be made, and there should be promotion of exchange of program in the research and development, like in irrigation advisory, pest disease advisory, crop yield forecast, weather based insurance and all. Then there were certain suggestions on fodder related means especially for the non-farm activities like animal husbandry, especially dairy, then poultry, etc., and preparation of questionnaires. So we have prepared the questionnaires. First of all, that the question came: the who are the immediate beneficiaries of satellite-based agromet products? Whether farmers can directly use that, or there will be some interface agency. I think in every country the mechanism is a little bit different, so that needs to be cleared from different countries first. Then what farmers or interface agency want, that can only be met from satellites. So we would like to get that information, that yes, really from satellite this kind of information is really required, which are otherwise not available. Then what are the most demanding and the skillful agromet products? So based on the different countries needs, it may vary, and so that it will boost up the advisories to the farmers, and in what way it can boost up the agromet advisory. Then what is the mechanism of interpretation or translation of the satellite products for farmers advisories? What should be the mechanisms of data access depending on the country's data policy? So we need to make one table. So based on the responses, we'll make those type of information, and then satellites availability, product catalog, and the sources or links, those have to be made. Then how to benchmark the uniquely different or common products of satellite then can each country help with the ground data support for validation or inter-satellite comparison, and who will do and how it will be done? So whether some agencies, if those are existing, if not existing also, they can share their views in that. So then we have to identify some common crop. There was a suggestion that rice is a commonly grown crop in South Asian region. So let us first actually attempt with the rice crop. Then we have to identify also the next common and important crop, which is important for Southeast Asian region. Then how satellite data can help in livestock and poultry management. So we are already working in with Amul here in India, but basically they want the fodder availability in the season, and this is required basically by Milk Federation, not by farmers. But what are the real essential elements to be considered to support the farmers' needs? So that we have to identify, and what kind of successes for rice farmers through advisories using satellite-based products. So that for those things, actually, we need to carry out some pilot study and on impact of satellite data products on advisories, farmers' decisions, and economic loss savings. So can a project can be taken up in that direction, and in that case, we will fund that. How students can work for academia on unresolved problems of advisories through satellite products, and then who will also fund their research. So there are some common and skillful agromet products or indicators which we have talked about, discussed last time. That one most important is the crop moisture index. So I think it should be the crop specific, and then we need to develop some irrigation advisor, which also needs to be crop specific. So for those things, crop mask, crop map should be available along with that. So there are many other interrelated things that I don't want to discuss now. Then product for crop insurance, how this product will be, whether it will be simply from satellite weather based products or some with some value addition, there will be some other products. So we need to have clarity on that. Then there was suggestion that surface soil moisture, that at finer resolution that is needed, but at what temporal resolution, what special resolution, that definitions and specifications need to be worked out. And there may be any other products which can be suggested by different partner countries in this. And then our way forward is that our after getting the responses to these questions, we can compile those responses, and then we can document the satellite product catalog, sources, links, data policies. Then from them we can identify the high, moderate, and low priority which can be implementable. That kind of work elements we can identify, then formulate strategy and mechanism for training and the student exchange. And finally, we have to prepare some proposal in very niche areas for international funding. So with that thing, I end my presentation and open for discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bhattacharya. You have really kept your presentation in time. Thank you very much. I now like to invite the fourth presentation by Dr. Chattopa Jaya, who is the leader of the Core Group 4, and he is going to make a presentation on the web portal for South Asia Forum on Agricultural Meteorology.
अरे आलिक्या इधर आ जल्दी.
I'm trying to share my presentation.
अरे यार आलिक्या यार अलेख्या जल्दी आना यार, प्रेजेंटेशन ही शेयर नहीं हो रहा।
प्रेजेंटिंग
वो ये नहीं आ रहा।
उधर नहीं दिखेगा, अभी दिख रहे उनको। यही प्रेजेंट
यही है ऊपर का।
ये ना।
हाँ
हाँ, अभी
Thank you, Chairman and the Rapporteur, and all the participants of today's meeting. I'll just discuss about that. I mean, whatever the discussion has been mentioned in our group meeting, how we can showcase all this activity in a very particular form. Next slide, please. I will just discuss about what are the phases of development of the web portal, what should be the content, and how this portal will be different from other websites across the world, and what are the linkages should be established, and what are the specific activities should be performed to make this web portal very, very lucrative, and what is the way forward. Next. Uh, uh, First of all, any web portal for any organization, it is the primary vehicle which will show your success. And this web portal will be the face of the Safoam which will be prepared. And while we will be displaying the Safoam web portal, it will reflect all the kinds of activities which is going on in the South Asian region. And in that particular portal, we will be having a basket of information about agriculture, weather, allied sectors like that. And also, we always try to make it update I mean, a very frequent interval. And the last point is very important. The novelty of the Safoam web portal will be that whatever we will be showing, most of the information may not be shown in any other portal across the world. Next. While we are preparing the web portal, we are taking the fourth, points very, very important. One is that what should be the design, architecture design of the web portal so that it should make very lucrative. Second thing will be that what is the sustainability issue, how we can make it sustainable with different mechanism. And fourth will be the how much administration we can put into the system, and lastly the finance what Dr. Bhattacharya has already mentioned, like that. Next. The most important part of the portal will be people will be seeing across the world in South Asia what are the products which will be available into our system and how they can use this information. It may be mostly it will be regional, but in some cases it may be the international product also there, and we also connect with the open source data also. So we have categorized basically the two part. One is the static information and another is the dynamic information. Static information will go to all the chronogram, then standard advisory, but mostly people will be interested in the dynamic information where just now, Bhattacharya has mentioned that the satellite, I was putting some of the parameters which will be very, very required for accurate advisory, even including the different index or whatever may be. And some of the burning issue also will flag it into that. Just like you have seen last 2 years, desert locust is very, very important in Asia, in Africa. So how all the desert locust information we can put into our system and make the users alert to do the activity subsequently. Another important is the burning of the straw after the harvesting. Very, very important issue. And our experts will be telling what kind of strategical and tactical decision can be taken. And the last part is the agronomic services. It includes training, it includes monitoring, plant monitoring, dot monitoring, like that. So it's very difficult now to explain all the things. But the thing will be that required by in South Asia, that we will be putting into our system. Next. Just one example. This is the picture you will see. You will not see any parts in the world this kind of information. Whatever we have done here, we have taken the open source data of NDVI, PCI, and others in South Asia, and with the grid system we put into the system. And now this what in India we are having a Pradhan Mantri Fasal Yojana project. We are using a lot of satellite data, but in other countries, this kind of things can be replicated. What India is doing, but they need the data. But from the open source data with 5 kilometer resolution NOAA, at least now in Myanmar, in Sri Lanka, or in Bangladesh, wherever we can give this information on a weekly basis also. So I've just shown some of the example, but number of products can be done. Second thing, that what the things we will be taking into our mind, that we will not put any country boundary, we will put onto the grid system to avoid any country boundary lines or like that. And another important thing is that any kind of system, you have seen number of cyclones, now people are telling climate change, there is a lot of SST, increase in the SSTs or like that. So what we will do actually, and they are linking the SSTs with the cyclone formation. So we will extend our grid system into the more southern side, on the Indian Ocean side, so that we can also provide that kind of SST information and other information. And most importantly, what Bhattacharya was telling, that what I was mentioning, that whatever the data we are mentioning here, that can be used as the insurance purpose, which is not been used in other parts in the South Asia. Next. Another important part is that our Safoam portal cannot be an individual portal or like that. So it should interact with all the important portal across the world. One will be the FAO, then it will be the NOAA, then it will be the World Bank, then it will be WMO, and then it will be INSAM. So we will take all the information, even in INSAM, even in World Bank, sometime in NOAA, we are getting some information from South Asia. So we will reflect with a new item will show into that. So it will be a very well connected throughout the world, some kind of portal. Next. I will not discuss elaborately of this. Whatever I mentioned, very simple way, but it is not that simple. How we can make the architecture design, how we can make it sustainable, how we can make the administration, how we make the finance. So we have made into phase 1 and phase 2, where we have mentioned what are the things we are supposed to do when we are actually put this web portal into our action. Next. Way forward will be that in this workshop, even also into that panel discussion, will discuss elaborately that first will be that how we can prepare that proposal with architecture design and whatever we have mentioned or like that, and we will be put some dedicated person onto that who can help us. And the third one is very important, that every item, whatever we will be going to do, we need some kind of funding, some manpower, whatever may be. So we'll be exploring that how we can request the fund from World Bank or USAID, WMO, like that's a joint thing we can do. So this is a very simple way of telling that how a web portal can change the face of Safoam in terms of activity, in terms of visibility, in terms of service to the common farmer, unprivileged, unreached farmer in South Asia. I think that days are coming very short where this will be into the reality through this web portal. Thank you for patient hearing.
Thank you, Dr. Chattopadhyay, for a very nice presentation. Now, the thing is that we only have 14 minutes left for to go to the next session 2. only 14 minutes left. So I'm going to request now Dr. Akshana Shrestha to make a presentation. She's the group leader of the core group 5. She's going to make the presentation on new dimension of agromet advisory services in the hill region of South Asian countries. So I request Dr. Shrestha to please make it quick so that then we can go to the last presentation. So Dr. Shrestha, please.
Thank you, Chair, and good evening to everyone. I hope you all can see my presentation.
Yes.
Okay. So today I'm gonna talk about new dimension of
అలేఖ్య
agromet
తర్వాత
advisory
వస్తే
services
నాకు ఆ
in
వీడియో
regions
చూపించాలి
in
నువ్వు
South Asian countries. Basically, in this, so this is core group 5. We have, 5 countries in the, the members or participants in this core group. And as per the activity, we have done the first meeting in 13 March 2021. And during that meeting, we had the participants from India, Nepal, and Sri Lanka. In today's presentation, I will be talking a little bit about agro-advisory mechanism in hilly regions of in hilly regions. In hilly regions. So I'm gonna show the example of Nepal and slightly try to compare that with India. And also, then finally I'll go to summary of first meeting that we discussed the challenges in hilly regions, potential solutions and need, and also potential activities of Safoam. So to talk about the agri advisory bulletin, which is one of the services, agri advisory services in Nepal, at the national level we are doing. We have 3 components here: information gathering, preparation, and delivery. So in information gathering, we have 2 types of information where Department of Hydrology and Meteorology is responsible for the information providing the weather information, the observation, and the forecast. And we also have another type of information. We need the crop status, which is the responsible of agriculture ministry, the department, and other line agencies of the agriculture, like NARC. And this is done in the weekly basis. So every Thursday we gather this information.
Can you please go to the next slide? We can't see any slides here.
Really?
Yeah, only the title slide is there. What is the next slide?
Please make it full screen.
It is full screen. Full screen. Just a second. Stop presenting. So I need to make full screen in a. Okay, so I will try this full screen and then present. Can you see now? Can you see now?
Yes, we can see. You, whatever the chairman was mentioning, I mean, you are not scrolling that slide. So now we can see the second slide, okay?
Now can you see the third slide, topic of presentation?
No, third slide you just give.
You have to share the entire screen. It's the last option. If you scroll down.
Maybe I have to share the entire screen.
Yeah, because you're going into presentation mode, which is considered as a different application.
Okay, so here. Can you see now?
Yeah.
Yes,
Top presentation.
yes. Now we can see.
Yes. So I already talked about this. In major 2 topics I will be considering, and my main focus would be in the summary of first meeting of Safoam of the this core group. So I was talking about the mechanism of weekly agromet advisory bulletin in Nepal, which we produce at the moment in national level. We have three phases, three components in this service delivery: information gathering, preparation, and then delivery. So in information gathering, basically, there are two types of information, which is weather and another is crop. In weather, Department of Hydrology and Meteorology is responsible for providing observation as well as the forecast. And we also need the information on crop status on a weekly basis, where it includes crop stage, pest and disease, crop area cover, and this is the Ministry of Agriculture and Development is responsible, and its 9 agencies are responsible for it, including NARC, the Agriculture Research Council. And we prepare this, we gather this information on Thursday. In preparation, we do prepare this on Friday, the bulletin. We gather physically, mainly the expert committee meets physically on the weekly basis. And in expert committee, we have NARC, the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, and Department of Hydrology and Meteorology, DHM. Based on this information, this is produced at the national level at the moment. And then it is disseminated mainly through Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, the AITC, I think it is. Agriculture Information Technical Center. So it is the extension part. The AITC is responsible for extension or dissemination of the ministry. And also NARC also has the extension units. So through that extension unit, NARC also disseminates these advisory. And again, I'm saying that this is at the national level. It is prepared for whole Nepal. And it is the ministry and the NARC disseminates to the provincial, local, and farmers, and also via SMS or email, also through television. So yes, so this is the mechanism at present in Nepal. So just to compare with what is happening in Nepal, because we are covering the hilly region, so I just want to, I was just comparing this with India. So I think India has the agro-advisory bulletin twice a week, I think. If I'm wrong, please correct me. And I think the whole mechanism is decentralized. The information gathering, it has its own agriculture farm units, advisory units, and in regional offices as well, in production as well as in dissemination, which has not been established in Nepal. And for preparation, we do meet physically, but I'm not sure about this, what is happening. I think if I'm, like somebody can provide the information on this, whether it's physical meeting when they prepare, is it virtual or it is produced automatically by the information, by automation decision support system. And also the unique thing about India is that there is a lots of involvement of the universities in this preparation and dissemination. So this is what I found, and I think in Bhutan they are in the initial stage, and most of in Bhutan the mechanism is automation, and they have a decision support service. We also do have the AMIS, the system, agriculture management information system, but it has not been automated fully to produce the agro advisory bulletins yet. We have to do that yet. So after this, I would like to go to the summary of the meeting that we discussed, where we talk about the current challenges and constraints in the hilly regions in providing the services. So the current challenge in the hilly regions is mainly due to the diversity in weather and climate, mainly because of the slope and also the frequent weather, extreme weather like landslides. And the challenge that is posed for information collection is insufficient weather observation. So it and also quality of the location specific weather forecast because of this constraint. We have the diversity of the cropping pattern where the crop stays, the pest and disease information varies considerably along the different locations of the hills, and that pose the obstacles or the issues in information collection in the phase. So because of this diversity, we have large diversity in relationship between the weather and crop, and also there will be large volume of information if you were to collect every diversified information, and also there will be the whole huge work pressure to the meteorologists as well as I think the agriculture experts for the collection of the data and the information that they need to analyze. And in preparation phase, because of this diversity and weather and climate, we have large volume of information to be analyzed, large number of location-specific agro-advisory needs to be prepared for effectiveness, large number of location-specific relationship between weather and crop, weather and disease and pest, where we have limited research. We have a huge work pressure for the for meteorologists for the location-specific forecast and products generation, and also for the agriculture experts for the location-specific. For example, if currently we are preparing at the national level, but if we are to produce that at the municipality level, or even there will be lots of, because of this diversity, there will be we will have more advisory to prepare. And in dissemination, there is a complex institutional dissemination mechanism when we integrate the three levels of government or different levels of government in all these hilly regions. So how to make it quick so that it is more useful for the farmers. And the second challenge is the difficult terrain, which causes limited access to infrastructure and development process, limited access to technology in the remote places in the hilly regions in South Asia. So this cause issues with establishment and maintenance of the meat stations. It poses the issues with collection of crop information, also difficult in timely data transfer as well. In the preparation phase, we have lack of information. The lack of information gathering in the information collection phase may affect the quality of the agro-advisory bulletin. Also, difficulty for the regular meetings and interaction when we produce these bulletins in weekly manner. And also because so the difficult terrain or remoteness of the hilly regions is the major issue in effective dissemination of agro advisory bulletin to the farmers, or even to act to make actions by the farmers. And the third is very limited research in the agromet. So the limited research on crop, pest, weather relation, and also in the agromet products in the hilly regions. So there is no clear strategy to use so many agrometeorological observed data and weather forecast outputs in agro-advisory bulletins. For example, we have more than 8 parameters in agromet station that we make records or observe every day. And so we don't know how to use that for proper decision making for the farmers as well as for the policymakers. So we do have the issue with crop weather sensitivity research in the. So what kind of information we need to be collecting, so which will be used for the preparation of the agro-advisory bulletin. So there is no site-specific agromet product for agro-advisory as needed due to the diverse crop and weather pattern. For example, in Nepal, we have not started working on district level or agroclimatic zone level of advisory bulletin yet. It's the whole general national level information. And so the potential solutions that we discussed during the meeting was the increase the weather observation stations, definitely also the crop information system for the information collection in preparation phase, to have a site specific agromet products that need diverse crop and weather pattern to address the diverse crop and weather pattern. And also use of the remote sensing is one of the that we talked a lot during. So that would to some extent would help us to generate the weather information and crop information, which will help in the preparation phase, the product as well, agromet product as well. And the use of information technology and media, for example, using the automated system and also the internet for fast data transfer or real-time data transfer, use of virtual meeting or information management system or decision support system, and use of IT, SMS, social media, email, and also came up was the local FM or the local radio. I missed that in this. And also the research and pilot studies that we should be doing on microclimate studies, and also the research on validation and calibration for the remote sensing data. In preparation phase, we should be doing intensive research on crop specific weather sensitivity for various zones of hilly regions to develop agromet products so that it can be monitored, predicted, and deliver that in advisory. And also do kind of experiments, pilot experiments on the various models of preparation of location-specific agro-advisory bulletins, pilot studies or experiments on location-specific schemes or framework for the dissemination, and also include involve the farmers in this dissemination phase while we do pilot studies. And the recommendations comes during the meeting was for the quality agro-advisory bulletin, we need development of for warning models of pest and disease in hilly regions, need sufficient crop weather relationship studies for different crops in the localities in hills, identification of the location-specific weather hazards and extreme events, and prepare contingency work plan according to the prevailing weather constraints in the localities, promotion of multidisciplinary research in agrometeorology, and the strong collaborative research between meteorologists and agriculture experts, especially with universities and government institutions, and for effective implementation of agro-advisory bulletin to the farmers. Sorry, it's by, so it should be to the farmers. There is a requirement of development of interactive and dynamic decision support tools so as to support the farmers by providing need-based specific advisories, and moreover strengthening weather-based agro-advisory services not only to use the modern technology and tools but also involve NGOs, government organizations, mainly by developing farmers to farmer contact or farmer network. So basically, as a core group of this Safoam platform, we recommend the promote of microclimate-based advisory, microclimate-based advisory, and microclimate studies should be made. Promote full utilization of remote sensing data information products may be explored, and especially for the unrepresentative area in the respective weather observation for preparation of agromet advisories, organization of capacity building program at different levels, support curriculum development on agri-meteorology in the universities. Annual and biannual South Asian agricultural meteorology workshops should be arranged so that we can share the information or experience from different countries in South Asia. Also promote co-products, particularly in respect of collaboration between meteorologists and agriculture at policy level, scientific level, and implementation level. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We are actually running out of time for this session. So I now request Dr. Abhijit Basu, who is the leader of the core group 6. He's going to make a presentation on building capacity in the ICT program management and also build such cadre and mentor them. So please, Dr. Basu, can you make a quick presentation because we really have to go to the next session, which is on panel discussion.
Sure. Excuse me. You're all able to see my screen? Are you able to see my screen?
No.
Not really.
No. Okay, let's see. How about that?
Yes.
Yeah. Now it's okay. Yeah.
All right. So, as part of the ICT team, on behalf of them, greetings to everybody. As we all know, ICT is an enabler, and it's basically the whole idea is providing the right information to the right person at the right time. So it involves two important things that we have to focus on. One is, of course, technology. But technology is only useful if it's used in the hands of the right kind of people, and they are capable to use the technology. The other aspect of the program, which is very, very important, is we are doing all of this for our farmers who have their own abilities and shortcomings. So we have to make sure that they understand what we communicate to them and the information is actionable. So finally, we have to look at from the overall customer experience, which is not only giving the information they're able to act, but also they're able to yield because of that information, generate the yield, and then able to go to the market and get their products sold for a profit, so they have a better livelihood, and rest of the community has food security. So the primary idea behind ICT is organizing the information that we have and be able to make decisions for experts, but also actionable insights for the farmers in an easy format. So it involves data and decision. And from moving forward perspective, what we need to do is kind of look at take an inventory of our capacities in the South region and say what are the missing pieces in different countries and try to augment or supplement that. And then share best practices across, because some of the nations are already practicing these things for decades, so they can actually share across the South region. And the goal is to drive action in form of able to not only disseminate the information, but actually drive insight which farmers can act on. And in the process, we'll learn. And so there has to be a measure and control learn process where basically we diagnose and figure out what is the true outcome and how can we improve outcomes in the future. So ICT as a subject or a topic keeps changing. It's the whole idea of ICT is that how can we keep our people active in the new technology domain, and in order to do that, there's a continuous learning involved. So it has to be mentored, but it's also self-paced. So a lot of these learning has to come from practicing the art, and have to figure what is really fact that can be used for the purpose of extending customer experience and the farmer's productivity versus what is more of a fad. And as we are talking about big data, having a lot of data is not big data. Big data is something that can be kind of verified, has synchronicity, and then there is a structure for assimilation, so we can develop insights required. And by design, we have to set it as a learning mechanism, so people can continuously learn. There are a few low-hanging fruits. Sub-seasonal forecast has been talked about by a few of the members, and it seems like there's a lot of work has been done, especially in the SAR region, that can be taken up by the member countries who don't have it or in the process of having it, to kind of expedite the process. There are challenges to disseminate the information, and we're going to talk about that a little later in the presentation. But the main challenge that we see is development of the bulletin capacity. If the information is not organized, then the second problem that we have to deal with is building the capacity to make these bulletins happen that can be shared with farmers. And then there is a kind of perspective. Different countries are at different levels, and there has to be some kind of organization through which this knowledge can be shared. And there's a possibility that this government of India agencies can help, and also other funding agencies, to make these physical or kind of e-meetings happen regularly. So everything requires a framework, and this is no way exhaustive, but it's a good start. We have to do an inventory of the initiatives that different operational agencies are taking, so we don't overlap, but we actually supplement and augment their work. E-radio and radio has been talked about, and the dissemination of this language sensitive information has to be in local farm, local art, and local practice. And from that perspective, how do we build capacity into these programs using ICT? So it's not only production, dissemination, but also actually consumption happens using ICT. So the customer experience is important, and what we see is there is a lot of reach because of the mobile penetration in most of the parts of the world, but still a lot of places don't have that reach, and what is really missing is the richness of content. Focus has to move, focus has to move from just not generating content, but the richness of the content, and then also making sure the reach is there and uniformly everywhere. So there has to be a universal language format. When I talk about online or digital information, what that means is not only local language, which is useful for radio or dissemination of information in hard paper, but if you are doing it digitally, then it has to come into a format which is more graphics based, so the emotions or the actions are very kind of synchronous and can be replicated across different language speaking regions. And obviously there's offline. It is an augmentation to the offline information that is being disseminated through various different sources already. So in summary, there are a few recommendations, and again, it's not exhaustive, but it's a good start. We're going to look at it as a supplemental national kind of supplement to national and other agencies. We are going to look at things that have been not done or have not been started by other agencies, and we can provide complementary services. And then how can we use most of the existing data already available, because there's tons of data out there, and obviously in the group there's tons of knowledge and capacity already inbuilt. So how can we take advantage of that? Community radio has been one of the proposed solutions, along with subseasonal forecast, that can be taken upon rather easily to move this agenda forward. And then how do kind of inventory of a sense of products and content, that would make sense. So there are a few action items with the recommendation that can be taken on to kind of help with the public-private partnerships, making sure there is incentives for cooperation. Most of the times, the conflict of interest between public and private organizations leads to a lot of friction and sometimes failures. And finally, the whole idea is to capacitate the aggregated processing, linking of the agricultural systems. So there is a kind of end-to-end service, not just kind of putting together content. And there is some consumption, but then there is no productivity on the side of farmers' output or the market. So we also have to look at climate resiliency as we move towards the net zero for climate, and there are some different programs that have already been adopted by World Meteorological Organization, and we can take advantage of that. And finally, as most of the presenters have discussed, there is a need for financing, and similarly for ICT enablement, we will need some of that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Basu, for your presentation. As I mentioned, we're already 15 minutes behind the next session. So I'm not going to make any more remarks as the time is very short. So what I'm going to request Dr. Chattopadhyaya, please post all the PowerPoint presentations that have been made. And we can also create 1 or 2 pages in that posting where all the participants who have been listening to these presentations, if you have any questions, you can also post your questions onto that web page that Chattopadhyaya is going to create for this session. Now, thank you very much, all of you, for your kind presentation. I now pass it on to Dr. Chattopadhyaya so that he can go to the next session, session 2, which is already 15-17 minutes behind the schedule. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. M.B. Sivakumar and Dr. Majan Majid for nicely conducting the session almost at the stipulated time. So once again, thank you to all of you. And whatever you have suggested, yes, it will be done, and it will be shared with all the members and taking the questions. Thank you. Now we are going to the next session, which is very, very important. This is for panel discussion on preparation of roadmap and implementation strategies for Safoam activities. So I'll be requesting Dr. L.S. Rathore, former Director General of Meteorology, our international consultant for World Bank and UNDP, and President Society of Rural Development, and many others. I'm requesting Dr. Rathore to take the board and make the panel discussion. Over to Dr. Rathore.
Thank you, Dr. Nabanshu Chattopadhyaya, and thanks to all the scientists who are present in this meeting and also were part of 6 core groups. We are at a level where we are, initially when we started discussion, we prepared the roadmap as to how to go about it, and then we concluded that we need to have 6 core groups, and today we listen to these group leaders of 6 core groups. So that was the first or second level of distillation of the thoughts which have been brewing in the arena. Today we are doing the 3rd round of distillation, and in the brewery parlance, the 3rd round of distillation is very important for the quality of liquor you are going to distill. So, and this will really pave the way for our future activities. So, and next maybe half an hour, we don't have much time left, but we need to really discuss on preparation of roadmaps and implementation strategies. So 2 things, roadmaps and preparation of strategies. And therefore, while we prepare the roadmaps, we need to keep in mind the implementability of the proposed idea. Because we are dealing with a very specific situation where we are developing a regional platform for agrometeorologists to carry out not only different activities, but end activity is to render agrometeorological service. Before I invite the panel, I have a long list of panels, and I would urge panelists to give very specific recommendations, both on these two aspects, as to the aspects which are related to roadmap and activity related and its implementation. The job has been simplified because all the 6 group leaders have really done a marvelous job, and the second level of distillation was wonderful. Because we have now a very clear-cut idea, and as was mentioned by the chair of the first group, Dr. Shivakumar, that presentations will be available to us in next tomorrow onwards, and so therefore you can at your leisure do a critical analysis and suggest whatever points you want to make. So it is not restricted to today's panel discussions. We will take those ideas forward as well, which you give in subsequent time frame online. With this, I'll just take the gist of these 6 group leaders or core group presentations. Basic idea is that Safoam, we are kind of volunteering agrometeorologists. Part of us are working and part of us are retired. And so this is a good human resource pool with a lot of experience and knowledge pool. As was mentioned, that Safoam is required to create a knowledge platform. A knowledge platform across the South Asia and even beyond the limits of South Asia subsequently. And when we talk of the knowledge platform, different core groups have informed us as to what are those aspects, and that aspects are aspects related to the monitoring of agrometeorological parameters, research and development in understanding crop weather relationships and crop weather pest relationships, development of tools and the products. And when I say products, there is a need starting from products related to which are emanating out of agrometeorological data, weather forecast, and agrometeorological specific tools. The second aspect, which has been distilled thus far by these distinguished group leaders in association with the team, is to develop the regional policy for implementing some of the ideas which we shall be deliberating. And when we say the regional policy, that is policy related not only to S&T, related to agrometeorology, but also the policies related to, because after all we are different sovereign nations, and so therefore there are different aspects. So we need to respect the laws of the land, and we have to work in those frameworks. And so therefore we have to have a clear idea of the sphere where we are working and its limitations. There are certain aspects which have been flagged by the group leaders, and these are aspects related to inadequacy of data, inadequacy of products, inadequacy of tools, and also inadequacy of availability of manpower, and also inadequacy of their capacities. So these are the underlying aspects which we need to now. So therefore huge gaps are existing, and how do we undertake our activities and how to implement them, we would like to discuss now. Because dissemination is now, fortunately, we have been able to put a strong foothold, and awareness is also increasing primarily because of our skill of the weather forecast improvement, and also awareness of the farmers because of the climate change and other things. But other aspect which was also flagged is education. Thus far, only India has Department of Agriculture Meteorology in its universities, and now Bangladesh, under the World Bank project, has initiated first Department of Atmospheric Sciences was opened by in Dhaka University with Dr. Shiv Kumar. He took a lot of initiative on that, and now two of the universities in Bangladesh system, they have also started agrometeorological postgraduate program. So from next session onwards, things. But we need to really further the education arena in other countries and what role Safoam can play in that. And then coming to the monitoring, beside conventional monitoring, the monitoring of drought, flood, soil moisture, crop condition, etc., which are very critical, and the issues which are related to the satellite-based product generations and putting them on the web portal, and the new dimensions for the hilly region, as was presented by Archana, and most importantly, the building ICT paradigm is very important. So all the things how now we have been able to distill at that level, and we are able to really do a good job thus far. And I'm sure we will also be able to do a good job in our third level of distillation process. Now, since time is a limitation, we are already 5:42, and our time allotted was 5:50, and I'm sure we should be able to overshoot some of the time. And so therefore, my request to the panelists is not to repeat whatever has already been done, but give a very critical and very focused suggestion and advice on what are activities we need to undertake in the immediate future, mid-term future or long-term future, and what should be our implementation strategy. And one thing which is common among all the 6 core groups is finance. Finance for Safoam activities, yes, it's very important. Without finance, we are not able to run. So your roadmap for that, as well as roadmap for as far as constitution and other things are concerned, you take your time and read the constitution, which will be shared with you. Dr. Sheikh has done a wonderful job, and you can give your suggestion online, and that will be taken care of. So with that time limitation, I first invite Dr. Shiv Kumar, Manav Shiv Kumar, for his quick remarks. And Dr. Shiv Kumar, you have the floor for 2 minutes.
Thank you very much. I will only take 2 minutes. And as you could see, the presentations from the 6 core group leaders, there are some countries in South Asia that are very much behind in several important aspects compared to other countries which are moving forward quite nicely. So when you talk of roadmap, the roadmap must have very important strategies where we can really help these countries in South Asia which are not making good progress till now. So that's very important. And that is the implementation strategy for the Safoam is that the countries that have made good progress, how can we really take that progress and have that implemented in the South Asian countries which are way behind? Because in South Asia, the poorest farmers are there, and they really need a lot of help to come out of the poverty, and they should have a better livelihood. So what we should do is to really, in these countries that are way behind in their progress on the agrometeorological strategies and implementation, we should take some good action in the roadmap. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and for a very valuable suggestion. And now I hand over the floor to Dr. Samsul Huda. Dr. Huda, you have the floor for next 2 minutes.
But is it me, Dr. Athor, or is it some or somebody else there? I'm not sure.
It's you. It's you.
Thank you.
There is a steady hand just.
Okay, thank you very much. I think what we just listened, very great interest on the progress that have been made. Well, just wait. So I will not make much comments other than saying that it's a great start. We have the good knowledge network experience. So with the good intention, hopefully we will move forward. One important thing, like you mentioned, Dr. Athor and Dr. Sheikh mentioned as well, that we need to have some funding. And that funding, to get anything done, need some resources. Okay, so maybe this is where we need to see whether we can all work together to arrange some funds so that we can support Nabangshu to move forward to do things that he wants to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And so I will call the names very randomly, so everybody should be prepared to hear his or her name. And next in line is, because we need to really develop a very strong bridge with the governments and government agencies, particularly National Meteorological and Hydrological Services. And so I would invite Dr. Mrityunjay Mohapatra, Director General of Meteorology, India Meteorological Department. Dr. Mohapatra, you have the floor for next 2 minutes.
Yes. Good evening. Thank you, Dr. Rathore. There has been very impressive progress with the 6 groups presenting the various aspects of the Safoam. I congratulate all the group members and the initiatives taken by the team. I just be limiting my comments only 2 to 3 points. The first point, I want to just echo your views and the views of other speakers, that South Asia region is very different from other regions of the world. And there is a lot of difference among the countries in terms of the varied physiography, the capacity, the product development, and hence the services to the farmers. So what I feel that Safoam can have a very big role in providing some kind of forum or exchange of knowledge. As you told, it can be a knowledge bank to provide support, enhance the integral development of the region. So handholding will be key success point for the Safoam in this particular region. The second point I just want to mention, that the capacity building of the community, the farming community, the forecasters, and the service providers in this region. And for this purpose also, a lot of initiative can be taken by the Safoam for exchange of knowledge, experience, and expertise. The third point I just want to say that there are many limitations in different countries, and all are not equally equipped for development of tools and technologies so as to convert the usual forecast which has been developed now. And as all of us know that forecast in South Asia region also quite developed like the other regions of the world. The only point is that it has to be converted in the layman language which can be utilized by the farmers. So the key success will be there with the role of Safoam. We can make use of the content delivery system, which can be very triggering, which can be very useful, which can help in farmers in terms of providing the impact-based information for each and every type of farming carried out by different regions of South Asia. The next point I just tell you that this last group which presented like ICT, we should enable the various countries to have the required ICT to access, to analyze, to comprehend, and take decision on the service provided by various NMHS in this region. The key point, therefore, will be the capacity building, not only the agrometeorologist, but also the capacity building of the farming community and the industries involved with this farm sector. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for very eloquent and very apt suggestions. And now I go to Bangladesh. I would like to invite Abdul Maid, if Dr. Maid is present. No. Dr. Mazharul Aziz, are you there, Mazhar Bhai? No. Dr. Mohammad Shah Kamal Khan.
Sorry, yes, I'm available. Can I say something?
Yes, please.
Sorry for the interruption because I was in another mail. So, from my limited years of experience and knowledge, I would like to say, as all we are thinking about the farmers, the well-being of the farmers, or the dissemination of our advisory to the farmers, I would like to say from my limited experience that at least sub-district level, location-specific hydrometeorological information is very much required if you want to make a benefit for the farmers. So this is from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Majar Bhai. And next, I invite Dr. Madan Gopal Vashne. Dr. Vashne is former Vice Chancellor and very renowned agrometeorologist. Over to you, Dr. Vashne, for next couple of minutes.
Mute yourself, sir. Unmute yourself.
Is it okay now?
Yes.
Yeah. Honorable Dr. Rathore, Dr. Shivkumar, all the other senior colleagues, I am very much thankful for giving me this opportunity. Friends, we have heard all the 6 core groups. They have done the wonderful job. I congratulate them. Next thing which I would like to point out is that Corona has opened up a totally new horizon. Therefore, when it comes to the research in agriculture meteorology, we will have to now think up of the diseases first. The diseases which spread from crop to animals, from animals to human being, and from human being to atmosphere. It makes a closed cycle, and in this closed cycle, if the disease spread could not be checked, it could not be stopped, then it will be difficult for future. Therefore, we will have to talk the research programs, whether it is about the fungi, or it is about the bacteria, or it is about the viruses which are spreading from one person to another world about the whole continent. So this will be the thing which has to be taken care for the research of this whole group. Then second thing will be that we the data which we are collecting or which we are getting from the satellite, all those products, they also need to be validated, because in different conditions it may be having slight approximations. Therefore, we must think of the application of drone and data collected from drone, so that we can validate the data which has been collected from satellite, and we can make it more and more useful to the people. Third thing, as far as the data is concerned, we are collecting. India is having a very good network. Sri Lanka is also having a good network, but other countries need to develop their own network. But even in India and Sri Lanka, the data quality has to be maintained, and for that purpose, the observatories, manual or automated weather station, they should be monitored frequently, and we must make some arrangement so that we can keep them in good condition. Usually, many automated weather station supplier, they commit everything, but when it comes to the practice after payment, they don't do anything. Therefore, the data collection network has to be improved, checked, monitored, and quality is to be seen. The fourth thing is about the jobs, agriculture meteorologists which are coming out. When it comes to the employment, even our own colleagues, own vice chancellors, own higher up people, they keep some slot, and a deserving agrometeorologists remain by the side, and they employ the persons from other disciplines. It gives a lot of disappointment, harassment to the agriculture meteorologist. As a network, we must make some provision that if an agriculture meteorologist is available who has done the work in that field, he should be preferred over others. Because until we do keep some limitation, people will not stop doing the bad practices. This is my own experience. I have seen in one case, candidate was present, post was there. When interview was conducted, they said that no, he is not of the good quality. Might be he was of slightly inferior quality, but they rejected. They kept the post vacant, and in the next interview, they selected the candidate of their own discipline. That is the type of the practices which the senior people are doing should be stopped forthwith, and for which we must make some provision. Fifth thing which was discussed is the training of farmers also. We are talking of the training of the manpower. Farmers also need to understand what type of the advisory they are getting, how to interpret it, and how to make use of it. In that connection, I will request Dr. Mahapatra or Dr. Rathor that we are having an institution named NABARD, and NABARD is funding for the institutes which are for the training of farmers. If they could fund some of the training institutes for farmer in the rural areas, it will help that yes, there the farmers can be also trained, which can understand their whole agro advisory, and they can make use of that agro advisory properly. I think that will be enough for today. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Great distiller you are, Professor Varshney, and very good suggestions. NABARD is a good suggestions, but since we have to go cross-boundary, Dr. Sailesh Naik is not present today because he was to attend some other meeting, and he communicated that that data trust is also one of the aspect, and he showed us some of the, he gave me some of the linkages, and I think we can pursue. They can go for the South Asia. And before I invite Dr. G. Srinivasan from Thailand, Bangkok, I would, because I am able to see Dr. Abdul Mueed now, and Professor Mueed, you have the floor for next 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you very much, Ratu. Good evening to all. First of all, I am giving thanks to the the persons, Dr. Navangshu and others who are struggling to make this Safoam is in practical form. And also I thank 6 group presenters. What I have seen that they are critically discussed on their topics, implementation scope, challenges, etc. very clearly. Now we have to plan a roadmap for further proceed. So further proceed, from my opinion, we should present our present achievements to the international donors like UNDP, FAO, USAID, World Bank, etc. For accurate data, we can also approach to NOAA of US, UK Met Office, etc. Also, we can link the respective regional projects like RHYMES, ADPC, KRWB projects, etc. And further proceeds, we have to think for our monetary site, and the one of the group present that the members collection of the Safoam and the fees for registration fees, we can fix that fees and we can collect that so that we can get a good shape for future Safoam. Thank you very much. Thank you for giving the times for some remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mohit. And now I invite Dr. Srinivasan, and thereafter I would like to go to Sri Lanka. And you have the floor, Dr. Srini, for next couple of minutes.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rathor, and greetings to all colleagues. And it's a pleasure to join this August gathering of agrometeorologists. And also thanks to the organizers for giving me this opportunity. So I think the core groups have done a great job, as many of you have already mentioned. We have a wide range of topics which are there, which have been shortlisted and prioritized and distilled, like Dr. Rathor said. So, but from this to go to a stage of a roadmap, I think one of the things we as a collective group should do is probably select 1 or 2 main points from each of them and prioritize for the couple of years or 2 years or 5 years. So that is something which can lead us to a roadmap and make use of all the work done by the core groups efficiently. Then the other important point which I noted and many other speakers have also stated is the importance of knowledge platform and capacity improvements throughout the region. I think this is very crucial because of what Dr. Rathore mentioned in his initial introduction, because we are a group of voluntary agrometeorologists and we must identify a group of tasks which is capable of being achieved through this group with the resources and other capacities which are accessible to us. So if we look at the whole issue in that perspective, I think the great contribution this group can make is in terms of capacities, particularly when we see there is a lot of differing capacity within the region. And this is something which can be done very easily through online and remote platforms. And all other important topics have been mentioned. And of course, there will be all support available from regional institutions like RIMES because this is a regional initiative, and we will explore all possibilities for seeing how activities can be synergized. Thank you very much. Over to you, Dr. Rat.
Thank you very much. And now I go to Sri Lanka and invite Sharat Premlala. Sharat, are you there? Yes. Yes, Sharat. We are not able to hear you. I think then in the meantime, I go to Giriraj Amarnath.
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Rathore. Am I audible now? Yeah.
Yes, you are audible.
I think I would not repeat what has been already mentioned. One of the points I would also highlight, as we are increasingly looking at agromet, I would also look the services, whatever we develop, look at other sectors as well. When it comes to fisheries, disaster management, the data is at the end of the day can be used across sector there. That's where the whole value of ecosystems you could look at. It should not be just looked at farmers alone. Look at how do you tap on opportunities from private sectors as well. And when it comes to the ICT platform, etc., I would suggest there could be a model from where Amazon or other ICT firms could be brought in. In addition to ISRO has already developed a strength of Bhuvan and other platform. They might step in and help us in a big way. That could be one suggestion from my side. And again, there are some suggestions I see in some of the groups still not come out. For example, we haven't discussed in our group, we spoken a lot about uncertainties in weather forecast. That has not come out very strongly in those forum. I think it might be when the presentations are shared, we could review that carefully and come up with the short-term to long-term strategic plan. Those are the ideas we should look at. And last but not least is also look at the transition of this data into the wider risk management solution, not just limiting into farmers sharing the data alone, but at the end of the day, the risk of the farmers also should be transferred to some other entity. So look at how risk financing instruments can also be promoted with the NDMA and others. So I would say while we are limiting our scope to Agromet Forum, but look at the overall value chain, how you can offer this knowledge services and the development pathways on that. Otherwise, from the farming perspective, we are talking about doubling farmers' income, managing the climate risk. How do we do that better? So what are the partnership and areas of collaboration is systematically we need to evaluate them. So thanks again. Over to you, Dr. Rathore.
Thank you, Giri. Thank you very much. And I now take opportunity to invite Sarat again. Sarat, are you able to join? You are yet not audible, though you have unmuted, but not audible.
Yeah, now?
Yes.
Can you?
Yes, we can hear now.
Okay, sorry for the technical fault. So first I would like to thank all the presenters. Actually, they have given a good overview of the core group discussions. So I think some of the countries in South Asian region, so there are no agriculture expert in mid service, including Sri Lanka, and no climatologist at the agriculture sector, agriculture department. So there is a need to train those experts in agriculture and mid service. So to address actual now in Sri Lanka, so we have take that initiative. So I think Safoam can provide some technical support in a technical support to provide some that technical advice. In addition, Safoam can conduct some certificate course for the whole region. I think that will be much important. The other one actually individual countries doing research on agromet. But I think collaborative research can be done, so it can be included even in the world constitution. So other point is Safoam can do some advisory. Safoam can act as an advisory body, and it also can include into the constitution. So my next point is sustainability of Safoam is basically depend on some financial resource. So even the Safoam is a non-profit organization, some projects can be taken for a reasonable amount. So from that, some percentage can be the Safoam for sustainability. So actually, finally, I would like information. So there is a gap for using satellite technology in some countries, including Sri Lanka. So we are lacking of some information like etc. So I think some technical advisory can be given to those countries. So it is much better to, that provide good agromet advisory. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And next in line, I would like to invite Sri Jayavardhane. Shiromani Jayavardhane, are you there?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And I agree with Dr. Giriraj and Mr. Premalal, their points. And especially in Sri Lanka, we don't have any universities offering meteorology degrees as well as agrometeorology degrees. So I think this forum can provide some human resources where that act as a lecturer, so we can initiate degrees in Sri Lankan University also. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And is Miss Anusha Varana Surya there? I don't see her name. And so therefore I invite Dr. Ajit Tyagi, former Director General of Meteorology and Air Vice Marshal. Over to you, Dr. Tyagi.
Thank you, Dr. Rathore and Navanshu, for giving this opportunity. I am one of the non-core agrometeorologists in the company of Doyens who have been there. So greetings to all of you. Also, greetings from the South Asian Meteorological Association for this new initiative of Safoam, and we look forward to work very closely. Now, as a non-agrometeorologist, my suggestion would be that to have a clarity in our role of this Safoam. It should not replicate the operational agrometeorological services which are being provided by the countries, but enable the additional knowledge which they can impart, and especially in the countries how to develop the capacity part of it. There are many areas where the existing Met services, even in advanced countries like India, in the region, don't yet have addressed that is climate variability, climate change. How do we incorporate at the national and regional level, and also in the time scale, also extending from short range to the extended range in operational mode. And similarly, in the space from the region, district, how to go to block level and farm level. So these are some of the things which require some knowledge testing and to be provided to the, and of course the capacity building, as many colleagues from Sri Lanka and other countries have told, Safoam should be able to provide, and this is I think need of the. You have done a wonderful job. These 6 core groups have laid down the path for us to take it forward. So compliments, and we look forward for a great success of Safoam. And along with that, the SAMA also will like to collaborate in the joint ventures. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. And we really look forward for very strong bondage between SAMA, Safoam, and other regional platforms. And I think we need to work together, and your word of wisdom is highly appreciated. And before I go to Nepal to talk to Shibnandan Shah and Tina Shrestha, I would like to invite Dr. B.V. Ramana Rao. Ramana Rao, you have the floor for next couple of minutes. If not, Dr. Ramakrishna.
Should I speak?
Yes.
Thank
Dr.
you,
Tyagi,
Dr.
kindly
Rathore.
unmute yourself.
I think I have unmuted.
Yes, you are,
Yeah.
we are able to hear you.
Thank you, Dr. Rathore, for the opportunity given to me. I think already the core groups have brought out one of the major issues is the capacity building, both with respect to manpower, with respect to infrastructure, with respect to database. And what I feel is, just to say in a few words, each of these countries which has some kind of issues can at least highlight what are the total issues where they want some help, and then prioritize some of them which are urgently needed. So the SAFOM can identify the groups or volunteer scientists who can help them to fill those gaps. So that's why I think SAFOM can help in improving the capacity of those groups through mutual support from other groups. So that should be the top priority to start with. And the focus should be on important weather events that cause a lot of damage to agriculture, like you have the droughts, you have the floods, pest and diseases, and livestock heat stress, etc. I think these and hill ecosystem also. I think that requires our attention also. I think these 5 can be top priorities for that.
Thank you very much, sir. And though we are running against time, but it is very important to get the ideas, and we are really getting brilliant ideas. So I go to Nepal and invite Shibnandan Shah. Over to you, Shib, for next 2 minutes or a minute.
Thank you, Dr. Rathore. And all the 6 presenters of the 6th group. Now, I would like to request that roadmap should be year-wise. In the first year, what are the activities should be done, and how that activity should be implemented. And for the preparing the roadmap, there should be the different category like that for the ICT platform, for the data availability, for the capacity building. Like that, for the capacity building, we should focus on the producer of the agrovet advisory service, bulletin or service, like that meteorologist and agriculturalist. We should just focus on the capacity building, and in the similarly we should also focus on the farmers. So what if preliminary training should be given in the first year, and the advanced training should be given in the second year. So we should prepare the roadmap in such a way. And also product like that, we don't have the climate and agriculture product, research product. So we should focus on the product like that, satellite product and artificial intelligence. No one group has used that artificial intelligence product. And other case, one, we should also focus on the public-private partnership mode to produce the innovative product like that satellite or artificial intelligence. So we need to prepare the year-wise roadmap. We should conduct the group meeting. We have six group. So we will conduct that group meeting and we will prepare the roadmap year-wise and in where is the point to focus. So in such a way, we will go for ahead. Thank you very much.
Great, thank
And
you very much. And before I go to our another hill country, Bhutan, I invite Archana Shresht for a minute or so. Over to you, Dr. Archana.
Thank you, Dr. Rathor. As I've mentioned in my presentation, and also based on what is come up during the meeting, and also as per the experience of Nepal, uh, Nepal in the phase of extending agreement products or agro advisory services to the farmers as well as the policymakers. While like countries like India or maybe other countries which have already started doing that, most while we go forward in the roadmap, I think lots of things can be done via the experience sharing and coordinated implication or coordinated application of the products in a step-by-step way. Like for example, how India is using SPI at the farmers level, or the drought monitoring system to the farmers level or to the policymakers, or if we have not done that or India has not done that, how can we do that in a coordinated way? So I think we can do that in a sense. And also from the hilly perspective, as I've said, the microclimate is very important and the hills are very vulnerable to the
That you already told. That you already told.
yeah, very vulnerable to the climate change, which come like didn't come during the discussion. So from the adaptation point of view also, these kind of research activities, we should be like when we think from the roadmap, we should be thinking collaborative research with the universities, which will be helpful for the government agencies like us in implementing advisories or in issuing the advisories. Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. And now we go to Bhutan, and I invite Sharing Wangshan. Are you there, Sharing? I don't see the name. Shenko Dorji also is not seen. Sonam Pem, are you there, Sonam? Sonam, you have the
Yes,
floor
yes.
for a minute or so.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, honorable dignitaries, doctors, and scientists. Thank you for the opportunities. I will be very brief because I think we are running short of time. And I think all the issues and the points have been mentioned by all the presenters
Put
and all
your
the.
camera on because people must
Sorry,
know you.
my camera is not working this time. I had some issues with my laptop.
Okay.
Yeah, so next time. Sorry. So to continue with some of the issues, I'm sure Dr. Nabansu will agree with what I'll be saying because Bhutan is way behind most of the countries in terms of agrometeorology, and we do not also have the experts in agriculture and meteorology, the combination of the two. So we would really like to have the capacity building at all levels, starting from farmers to the government officials and to the extensions. So we would really request the Safoam as a platform to offer this kind of opportunity. So that's all from me for now. But I think Siwangsha is not here, so he's the most appropriate person to actually put up the submissions. But I will also pass all these points and then discuss with him. So that's all from Bhutan. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And now we go to Maldives, and we have Abdul Mushin with us. I invite Abdul. You have the floor for next minute or so.
Thank you for giving me an opportunity. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers for giving me such an opportunity, and then I would like to congratulate the co-group for doing a wonderful work. And Maldives being an island state with low-lying islands. So currently, we are not providing any agro-meteorological services, but it's a priority of the government, so we should address it in the near future. So we also highlight it is important to give priority for the capacity building, and one more thing I would like to highlight the product chart. Maldives has to be highlighted. So Maldives could get the benefit of the product. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And before I go to Afghanistan, I would invite Dr. Orivaldo Brunini from Argentina, our national expert. Over to you, Dr. Brunini.
Okay. Good morning. Well, good day. Good night. Thank you. I think that's very nice work, very nice presentation people have done. But to focus on very important strategy for a roadmap, in my opinion, we should focus on two aspects. One is capacity building. People should know what they are doing. Also, how to help in operational agrometeorology. In that case, considering capacity building, some short courses or online web courses about climate change scenarios, research on crop adaptation, online teaching agrometeorological and technical use of agrometeorology, how to prepare agrometeorology bulletins, and how to make a dissemination of the bulletins. For example, one in the word that we researcher prepare, the other should be used by the extension service. In that case, we should bring it together to prepare the bulletins. Agriculture extension service to support the farmers, make more integration with agronomists and the agrometeorologists, and a very good link between water resource, human, agrometeorology and farmers. Should be very important to have enhanced agrometeorology bulletin for all over South Asia forum for that. That's my few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Orivaldo, for word of wisdom. And now we go to Afghanistan, and I invite Ismail Hassanzada for his views on this. Over to you, Ismail.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rathor. This workshop was very good for me, and it was good in terms of learning. From the Afghanistan, I do not have any specific question. Just wanted to say that we also are producing every 2 week bulletin. So we are, I think we are in a similar state, but we can learn a lot from Safoam. My one expectation from you is that if you could please share the PPT presentations which was presented by the group leaders. I think that can be much useful for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We also have Nazibullah Osmani. Nazib, you have the floor for a minute. Over to you, Nazib. If no response from Najib, we invite Wahidullah Yusafi.
Thank you.
Wahidullah, you have the floor.
Hello.
Thank you, Dr.
Yes, please,
Rathor. Basically, I'm also representing. Please. So representing Ministry of Agriculture, Irrigation and Livestock, where the agromet unit is located. Two things in Afghanistan that we usually are lagging behind in agromet advisory is like, first, we don't have any institutional footprint in Afghanistan that produce, as other colleagues mentioned, agrometeorologists in Afghanistan. Like the universities, they don't teach this subject and they do not produce. There is a meteorology department within the geosciences faculty, but specifically for agromet. So they don't produce students or subjects on agrometeorology. The second is there are two units within Agriculture Ministry and within Afghan Met Department. Both have agrometeorology, agromet services unit. But the services they deliver mostly do not reach the farmers. It is only in the central part. So the communication, the ICT requirement, and other things are not enough to reach to the farmers on agromet advisory. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Wahidullah Sahab. Now I invite Nazim. I can see him. Over to you, Nazim.
Thank you for everyone, and it was a very good presentation. Just I want to say, please share the presentation with me, with Olaf. And thank you. I don't have any more questions.
Thank you very much. And do we have Muhammad Hanif Saab with us? Over to you, Muhammad Hanif from Pakistan. Anybody else from Pakistan? Anybody from Myanmar?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please.
Firstly, I would like to thank the organizer and oral expert from Safoam inviting me to participate in this panel discussion. So for me, limited experience to discuss the roadmap, but I would like to give the some information for agromet services. And in our DMH, we issue the agromet bulletin. In this agromet bulletin, we put only agromet information. We cannot provide the advisory. But for in Sesame application, this application supported by Rhyme, and this Sesame application, we can see the advisory for farmer. But for currently, our DMH, we cannot provide the agromet advisory. But now, currently, we have the one of the project, agro advisory services project under the WABAN. Provide. So in this project, we try to support the agromet advisory. This is ongoing project. But for in Myanmar, we have agricultural university. But for research for agrometeorology is very limited. So for future, I hope we can get the technical support to provide the agromet advisory to farmer, and also we can get the technical support for agrometeorological research for our capacity building. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was How Sweet from Myanmar, and really appreciate your comment. And with this, I complete the list of the panelists which was decided freehand. But if there is anybody else who want to make very quick comment, I would really invite, but it has to be really very quick, and it should not be repetitive.
Sir, good evening.
Yes, Gita, you have the floor, please.
Yes, sir. It's a great forum, and my suggestion would be we have to have something like short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals. And to start with, we have to harvest the low-hanging fruits. So those who have little bit of funding, they can go with including Safoam, they can go with organizing some of the international forums. And the second thing is, for the budget part of it, we can also think of approaching some of the embassies. They really support this kind of activities. For example, Norwegian Embassy, Swiss Development Corporation, and so on. So this is my initial thoughts. I'll give all my comments in the website.
Thank you. That was Dr. Geeta Lakshmi, who is Director of Natural Resource Division at Tamil Nadu Agriculture University and has attracted a lot of international funding. So your experiences are very important.
Dr. Rathod.
Yes, sir. You are there back. I called your name.
Yeah. Let us recognize that Agrom Advisory is the end product. So the beginning has to be from somewhere else. So if we have to give successful agromet advisories, so let us try to prioritize where to make a beginning and then set goals for the next 5 years or so. That is very, very important. Because right now, they don't have even expertise or the minimum manpower to start an advisory in some countries. So we have to take them to that level to start with. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ramana Rao, a veteran agrometeorologist in Indian agriculture research system. And I can see Professor UC Mohanty, who has a long experience in atmospheric sciences, modeling particularly. And over to you, Dr. Mohanty.
Okay, very good afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Rathore and all the team. This is an excellent activity because we always tell about science. I now think science should go to the common people, and this is one of the best forum. So in that, actually, obviously, first thing that we should catalog the strength and the weakness of each country. Every country have something good and something they have a weakness. And I think already you have started that thing, but if you keep one point, the strength and weakness of each country, catalog, that will give us that we learn from each other, the strength. And as everybody told, I should not repeat, most important thing that is the capacity building and awareness. And also we have to keep a sense of climate change and its adaptation. This may be the future, but things should start in that way also. So therefore, I feel Safoam and Samam both can join together and take the science of atmospheric and ocean sciences or atmospheric science to the use of the common people. And that will be the great, and I think this is, and in this regard also, as we discussed many times earlier also, the capacity building step by step can go for the applications, and those people who are going to use, their awareness should be there. So we should learn from each other. So I think I don't have much thing to repeat because whatever I tell you to the repeat of the others. So, but I feel that it's a very good activity, and to sustain it with a good roadmap, so that we don't, our enthusiasm should continue, and we should bring some success. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for the word of wisdom. I can see the heads of GGSN, but before I invite GGSN, I will invite Dr. Vyas Pandey after GGSN, because Vyas Pandey is president of Association of Agrometeorologists, and we would also like to develop bridges and how that different societies which are operating in different countries would be helping each other. This is a regional platform. So before we go to Vyas Pandey, I invite Dr. GGSN Rao, former project coordinator, already a coordinated research project on agromet. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Rathod sir. I will be very brief in my presentation. The only thing is that each association or a firm will have some publications. So what I request is that the Safoam can bring some newsletter, a quarterly or maybe half-yearly newsletter. These activities and some of the recommendations. I think it can go that way of providing some information to all the participants or to this one. The second thing is about encourage the youngsters by providing some research grants for doing some development of the development in the research activities in these countries. Third thing is about, of course, I again repeat the same thing, arranging training programs to the countries where, first of all, we would identify the deficiencies, what has been pointed by Dr. Mohante, that identify the requirements and arrange a training program, because we have a lot of expertise in this Safoam. Many retired scientists and active scientists are already there. We can arrange lectures in collaboration with the that particular country's the agromet or maybe meteorological unit. So this is what I want to bring it to the notice. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I see the flag by Sable, Professor Sable. But before that, Professor Vyas Pandey. Over to you, Dr. Vyas Pandey.
Thank you, sir. A lot of things has been already told. Nothing new to be added. But from Association of Agrometeorologists, I may assure that whatever help and cooperations from association is required, we will be happy to share, whether it is a training program or whatever. We will, in collaboration with Safoam Association, will do its job. Wherever its help is required, we will be happy to share. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. And also we have the Secretary of SAMA, Dr. Someshwar Das. I'll invite Dr. Someshwar Das, but before that, Dr. Sable, you have the floor, Sable. I think we are not able to connect. He's not able to connect, and therefore, Dr. Someshwar Das, are you there?
Dr. Prasad Rao is there. GHS.
Dr. JSLHV Prasad Rao, Professor. Okay, we are not able to connect. If there is anybody who wants to make a very quick comment, Dr. Atri, I can see.
Thank you, Dr. Rathod. I think excellent presentations, excellent discussions, and lots of points have been brought out in today's meeting. I just want to make a small comments that we must prioritize our actions, particularly on capacity building, and because it is NGO, so we need to develop mechanism for a solid financing back for footing for this forum and interaction with other national and international forums, so that continuous interaction and continuous development can be continued. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I think I don't see any raised hand now.
Prasad Rao is there.
Prasad Rao is there. Okay. Gondi Rao, you have the floor.
Thank you, Dr. Rathod Sahab. This is just my observation. As far as agromet advisory service are concerned, the dissemination infrastructure is very good as far as India is concerned. And this web portal is concerned, Nepal is doing wonders in web portal. So those who are interested, they can go through web portal developed by Nepal and the dissemination infrastructure developed by infrastructure. Then when it comes to agromet services, whatever is said and done, sir, we are all aware. Mostly, though we do a lot of information gathered on weather and climate through various means, the advisory revolves only agro advisory, not agromet. That means lot of R&D should go into that. Unless it is there, it remains to agro advisory rather than agromet advisory services. Then, as far as education is concerned, Tribhuvan University has come forward, sir, to start MSc program in agriculture meteorology as well as livestock meteorology. They need financial support for that. These are the two comments I have, sir. Thank you very much for giving me this
Thank you very
opportunity.
much. Thank you very much.
Doctor,
Yes, Dr. Subbarao, I can see your
sir,
flag. Over to
yeah,
you. Dr.
yeah.
Subbarao is principal scientist at ICR Krida.
Uh, Actually, I have seen all the presentations are very good, and people they have spoken about whatever are their problems. But the main thing what I have observed is that capacity building should be more practical when it comes to any country, whichever are lagging behind in issuing agrometric this preparation and issuing agromet advisories. So it should be more practical. That is what I wanted to say.
Thank you
Thank you.
very much. Anybody who has a pressing and very quick comment, I invite. Sheikh Saab,
Dr. Rath.
yes.
Hello.
Over to you,
Only
Dr.
one
Sheikh. Then
everything.
Nachiketa.
Very, very good suggestion has come emerged out. And the main problem is the whatever we are doing at present is the agroecology services is the end product, as Ramarao has already mentioned, and it is the extension work. But our motto is, as an agrometeorologist, we have to have a research program, interdisciplinary research program, instead of only the physical science. All the earth science biologists has to be involved in the research program, and that stage has to be given. And for that purpose, a national or international level institute should be proposed by this forum, and to recommend to the SARC country also that they establish the research institute on agrometeorology or the application of meteorology to agriculture. And that is just I think that that is most important. We in country also we have tried. Ramakrishna has also tried. Raman Rao has also mentioned earlier, and they have tried, but it has not materialized. And that's I think it is the most important for the time of the work. Thank you.
This is a very good suggestion, but the creating institution in the SARC setup is a tedious mechanism. I'm aware of that. But in the existing institutions of the SARC, we can have a beginning where it can be brewed, and we will deliberate on that subsequent course. Very good suggestion. Nachiketa Acharya, you have the floor. Very quick comment. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. Just a comment from the ICT group where I was a member. I'm thinking about, in terms of capacity building, we're also thinking about to improve the capacity of the Met Department to tailor the forecast for the agriculture. On that note, like subseasonal focus is like the key, and we already discussed about that. So I think like with this Safoam, we should also connect with the Met Department using the SASCO forum to have subseasonal focus training to the agriculture in the pre-crop training activity. Thank you.
Thank you, Nachi. Thank you very much. Very apt suggestion. And I think with this, we have completed the circle, and we come to the end of the session. It was a very good distillation. Let me tell you very honestly, in my self-praise, that we are part of a community, and what a kind of thought process put together. We are able to really bring out a few very good points for roadmap as well as implementation. Of course, it was the time was a big limitation, and to restrain professors to give comment in a minute or two is a really very difficult task. But I thank all the panelists and those who made comments in a very short period, but very apt comments. And with this, I have another request that though I don't think we are able to record today's discussion, so all the members are requested to kindly send an email to Nabanshu Chattopadhyay with your clear-cut thoughts which we have shared today, that will further help, though he has noted and other people have also noted, but to have a no confusion document, it is important. We will appreciate if you can give in writing, and even if you are not able to interact now, the same thing is invited for participation through sending your kind of inputs for furthering the Safoam. And with this, I thank all of you who have participated in this session, and hand over back to Nabanshu Chattopadhyay for the concluding. Over to you, Dr. Nabanshu.
Thank you, Dr. L.S. Rathod, for nicely conducting the session, and all the panelists for the very, very fruitful suggestions, comments. In fact, few months back, we have foreseen that how Safoam will proceed. I think step by step we are going to achieve with a lot of confidence, with a lot of human resource we have. Now we are almost going to the end of our program. So my last program is that we have made the father of Green Revolution of India, Dr. M.S. Saminathan, and we have apprised him that what exactly we are going to do with this Safoam. And though he is not keeping well, but he has readily agreed to address us. So I will try to show his address because the volume of the recording is not as good. I'll be requesting all of you to use your microphone because Sad was not talking in a very high volume. So I will show this address to all of you. Before showing the address, what message he has given to all of us, I'll just read it out. He said, climate has profound repercussion on agriculture and allied sciences and farmers' practices. Providing critical climate information to farmers in a timely way is essential to enable them to sustain not just productivity but also their livelihood. I wish the South Asia Forum on Agriculture Meteorology success in promoting harmony with the environment and climate. So now I am requesting my colleague Mrs. Malti to just show the address of Dr. M.S. Saminathan.
Share.
I will be requesting who is having that microphone, they can use the microphone.
मैच कर क्लोज कर दे
अरे क्या क्या हो गया?
I'm happy that 9 countries of South and South Asia have come together to study the linkages between the monsoon, productivity, and profitability.
We are unable to hear.
I'm happy that modern
దీని మీద ఇస్తే ఒక నిమిషం ఎలా అరే ఎక్కడుంది
रीजन ask him.
Sir, the audio is very low. I'll be playing it again. Okay, you stop it, okay? Because actually we may not be able to hear.
Nabanshu, you can have a transcript of.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Hello, sir.
you can have a transcript of his address, whatever is speaking, and
I will
that
I
can
will
be
re-
shared.
I will request to send the transcript copy from Swaminathan Institute, and I will communicate to all of you. Right?
Thank you. Thank you.
Now I am requesting Mr. Thakur, Manoj Thakur from Nepal to give vote of thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Navansu. Hope everyone is listening me very nicely, though it is little bit late actually. But anyway, uh, we are at the end of this very valuable meeting. So myself, Manoj Thakur, Senior Scientist from Nepal Agriculture Research Council, NARC, and now I am retired. So very good evening, everyone. Honorable Chairperson, distinguished speakers and participants, ladies and gentlemen. It is great pleasure for me to extend my sincere thanks to all of you for your sincere and active participation in this virtual workshop of Safoam. First of all, I heartily congratulate Dr. Navansu and his team for successfully organizing this workshop in such a pandemic situation of COVID-19. On behalf of organizing committee and my own behalf, I express my sincere thanks to all speakers and reporters of session first for their elaborative presentation on respective thematic areas. I am also thankful for all group panelists of panel discussion in session second for their lively discussion on presentation of roadmaps and implementation strategies for SAPOM activities. Though so many panelists and the participants were presented, and I am not going to express here the names of everyone individually. My sincere thanks goes to the father of India's Green Revolution and founder of the M.S. Swaminathan Research Foundation, Professor Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, for his remarkable visionary address, though it could not be listened very nicely. But let us hope Dr. Chattopadhyay will circulate to everyone, and I think that remarkable visionary address will be listened by everyone. Last but not least, it would be incomplete my job if I should forget to express my sincere thanks to Dr. Manav Sivkumar, though I think he left the meeting. Uh, the chairman of the first session, and Dr. R.S. Rathod, moderator of session second, for their benevolent task completed on time and very efficiently. Due to the limited time, it is very difficult to call upon their names of all valuable participants. Therefore, I finally express my sincere gratitude to all eminent personalities and members joining this virtual workshop from USA, Australia, Brazil, Switzerland, Thailand, Nepal, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Pakistan, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, Maldives, and India. Lastly, I express my heartfelt thanks to all management team of SAPHOM to make this workshop a very grand successful. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Mr. Thakur. So now we can close this, and we will send all of you. We'll try to send all the presentation, all the proceedings, even also the visionary address of MS Swaminathan to you. And looking forward to all of you for next course of action and next meeting, whatever may. Thanks all of you for your great participation and your great contribution to that. Thank you to all of you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Cowboys and bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you
Bye.
all very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Navansuri and everyone.
Thank you. Thank you a lot. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.